Here, recap. So 2 weeks ago, we started out in the tavern waiting for here, but he came in and he gave us lots of good information. When we gave him the staff, he told us there was a curfew in place. I don't know, maybe this didn't come from him, but there's a curfew in place at dark. The guards have increased their patrol. The people in the town are generally in favor of it, though. They wish there were even more guards. The city is clearly investing their guards in wealthy areas of town and kind of not as much in the poorer areas of town, just generally. Let's see. Here was an older gentleman with scratch marks on his face and bruises. And when we met him, he was praying. He was saying a prayer, praying for the safety of his people. We found that the city's been under siege by dark creatures that kill anyone it sees. Here's sister is out there, and he wants to save her. She is missing. There are many missing people. She is smart and strong, and he wants to find her and help her. Her name is Hera, Herah, I think. I wrote down.
I don't remember the spelling, but yeah.
Yeah. Tried to scry on her, but unfortunately the scry failed. The mirror didn't break, so that's good. But we did verify that the creatures are gloomers, and he was warning us of them. We also found out the shield, which is a house here in this town, is paying coin for people to fight for them, and that there are 5 houses in Duras: the shield house, which is like the first house, the coin house, the white house, which is the law enforcement, the grain house, which is infrastructure, and the shadow house, which is an unofficial house to a group called the Tempest, and that they are a criminal guild. And in time of danger, they become a little more legitimate and are leaned on to help defend the city, as it's their city too. And yeah, I think that's all that we learned from here, unless anyone wants to add to that.
One quick thing is that the White House, the Law House, is law and information, but like the military slash like police, quote unquote, city guard is Shield House. As a point of clarification, I think I heard you say something otherwise, but maybe not. But ignore.
No, that makes.
Yeah, I'll update my notes.
The only other things I remember was we did briefly towards the end of last session go up. Oh, excuse me, hang on, give me a second.
I think we went to Roland's parents' house. If you want to start with that, Roland.
Yep, we went to the Leodon residence in the Hydra district. Thankfully, they seem safe. But yeah, we met mother and father, Kyrian and Laura. Is that right, Laura? Leodon.
Yes. Know your mother, Roland.
Yeah. Sorry, this is me out of character that doesn't know. Roland 100% knows his.
Of course.
I 100% forgot to ask about my sister. Like, I guess kind of assumed that she was in the city and she was safe and she was fine. But I guess I don't actually know that.
I think if your parents weren't like in tears, and you can assume that. However, if you like to go back and ask them, you can certainly do so.
Do I know where she works, where her temple is?
Yes. Well, yeah. So she's a teacher, and so she would be at one of the schools, probably closer to the Rogues Ward, which is more impoverished. So those who are orphaned and underprivileged, who she teaches would be in that area. So you would know that there's a school there.
Good. No. Yeah, but we saw the house, and we saw some of my mother's art, and generally mother was not terribly happy to find out that I had died, but she, I think, understands. And kind of talked a little bit more about the missing people. But they're for the most part just checking on them to make sure they were good, and then we left and head towards the shield station. Unless anyone else wants to add to what we did there.
They did invite us to stay there. I don't know if we mentioned that and I missed it, but we can stay there at least for tonight.
We asked about the goat man. Did you mention that?
We did, and she didn't. I don't know if it's just in her personality to be like that, but it kind of felt a little more like she was very quick to say, like, no, I don't know anything about it. And I'm wondering if maybe like the same mental magical block that's on me is kind of making her not think too hard about it either.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think she's lying though.
Okay.
But I don't know, we could push on that more, potentially. Still don't know the goat man's name to even describe him better, but
I like the goat man.
Goat man is goat man, I mean.
Goat man, yeah. But we did go to the shield station, and they pointed us towards the board, which I think you put something in the chat regarding how much gold each kind of creature's worth, with a kind of to be determined if we defeat a Gloomer, I think. But is that right? Was it if we defeat a Gloomer and bring its head back, it was kind of to be determined, or was that on the list? Death creatures, 80 gold pieces. Never mind.
Yeah, it was 80, and then others unlisted. Anything other unlisted was to be considered. So,
Chickens.
Yeah. Kill a rat. Chickens can be mean.
Yeah. Legend of geese. But here's the problem: you attack one chicken, and all chickens attack you from all areas. I mean, that's just basic knowledge. I mean,
isn't there like a Skyrim thing about killing a chicken and it being like bad?
It's a Legend of Zelda thing where, like, if you attack a chicken, all the chickens in town come and attack you. And
yeah, other games have riffed off of that though. So
that makes very funny, but yeah. And then we went up north to Hellhound's Village and the Edged Blades, where there was a shrine outside to Inus, I think, the Lord of War. But we talked to the weaponsmith for a little bit. And then I think we were planning on heading towards the Holdfast afterwards.
Yeah, I think that was the plan. Was we were heading down to the Holdfast, which is the library, right? To do some research. And Roland was very hesitant about going there because he may or may not have been responsible for burning it down.
No, I've in case I haven't explained this to you already, I am 100% certain I didn't burn it down, but I was 100%. I was also accused of burning it down because I was studying evocation magic and stuff, but it couldn't prove anything because I didn't do anything. But unfortunately, I was never able to figure out who did do it either. And it just became a very uncomfortable place to work after that. And it was one of the main reasons why I left the city. And I think I revealed all that to y'all. Anyways.
And that's a perfect place to pick back up. You guys are heading to the Holdfast, as you just mentioned. I can't hear my music, but can you guys hear my music?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So you guys are traveling along. You had just come from Eged's Blades up here, and just making your way down towards outside of the city to the Holdfast. You did pass by the mill, and Roland, you're familiar that this is serves as a training ground and also kind of supplies for the two roads here that are the main roads to get into Duras. And so as you pass by, anytime before as well, you would hear grunts and yells for, soldiers being trained, city guard, etc. All of you actually, as you pass by the mill, can each of you make a perception check for me?
Okay.
Oh, wait, I have to roll for Rita too. Sorry. Here. Okay, well, that was for Rita. Not great. Cassandra and Roland, you actually hear a familiar female voice. Cassandra, you can immediately place it as Governess Seagarden's voice. Roland, you understand it's familiar, but you're not quite grasping like who exactly it is, though you know it's like been the last couple months where you've heard the voice.
Cool. I'll stop the group and say, hey, you guys want to go see what Governess Seagarden's up to?
Sure. I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do.
In Paramore, she was because I think you came after, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, did I meet?
You did, but they don't know that you did, but you did.
Okay.
You don't know that you did. Oh well, you do know that you did. I think she mentioned her name when we were chatting.
I do know that we did.
Yeah, so remember when you were this is like buried in our chats, but
okay.
When you were on the road to Parabor, you came across a little bit of a group and also this woman who kind of like stopped you after there was something. I think there was a scuttle that you had encountered something, and then you had just like beaten the creature, and she came over and she was like, you know, like be safe on your travels. And you noticed that severed head that was well, you didn't know it was a severed head, but you smelled something in the back of like the horse just being kind of carried in a satchel that was like kind of, you know, congealed blood and very, you know, smelled of like rotting flesh. And like that was your encounter. I'm pretty sure she introduced herself as Governor Seagarden.
Yeah, I'm looking at the notes. Yeah,
okay.
She did introduce herself. I couldn't remember. The first name threw me off because I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." But yes, so yeah, I guess my response would not be who. I don't think I know her. To oh, do you know of her as well?
Yeah,
I think I met her once.
You guys know her in different circumstances.
Yeah, she was at Parabor. She helped slay the dragon that was there.
Oh. That would make sense. I saw her when I was going up that way. So
she also is the one who owns one of my mother's paintings that started giving me visions and a voice in my head.
That is important to know. Maybe I'll just sneak over and like listen. There's like a crowd around, I imagine.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a wall, so you can't necessarily peer in to see, but if you stand and listen, you hear her barking orders, and you assume that there are some other city guard or soldiers who are training, and she's kind of like, hey, sharpen up! Oh, don't point over there, move it more like this, and you can just kind of hear her, you know, mention those kind of things.
I'll walk up to her and say, "Hey, governess."
Oh, okay. So it's less of like a super open area. The wall is probably like just because you're a halfling. It's probably just above you. The rest of you can probably peer over a little bit, but it's not like super open. But there is like there are multiple openings where you can like walk into different sections of the mill. Like I said, it serves many purposes. One is like a training, two for like storage and supplies, and also just like another general base of operations where there are a lot of shield people who kind of station themselves here and kind of, you know, run operations from this part of the city. And so you walk in. Do the rest of you walk in as well?
Yeah, I'll follow her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
So you guys go into this area, and I'll throw your tokens in because I don't think I have you guys here. So there's Cassandra, Rita, Rowan, Tarvik. You kind of like walk up here. You see Governor Seagarden here, as she's kind of pointing to the folks around. Says, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, she's just kind of standing over here, and she's looking down into the pit, but then also kind of like pivoting towards the folks that are over here, towards these training dummies, and like, you know, catching the movements that they're doing and kind of directing them. And so, Cassandra, what do you say as you walk up?
Can I wave?
She doesn't notice you, because if you don't say anything, she's not noticing you.
Oh, okay. I'll yell out, "Hi, governess!"
She kind of peers over her shoulder, looks at you for a beat, and then just kind of furrows her brow a little bit, walks over to you and says, "Good day. I apologize. Please remind me who you are."
We're the heroes of Parabor.
Ah, yes. You can see a glint of recognition. Cassandra, make an insight check for me.
Yeah. Not a strong student.
Did she leave before we saved the town from the merfolk? She was gone by then, right?
Well,
she was.
Yeah.
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 I still think we're the heroes.
She seems to have recognized you now. She says, we're training here, but can I help you with something?
We were investigating the death creatures. Do you have any leads?
Those things. Well, unfortunately, they're just going all around the city at night. They seem to only come out at night, though, so at least there's that. We're safe during the day, it seems, though we can never keep our guard up enough. You never know. Things have been tense in the city. People acting out sometimes, so be careful yourselves if you're traveling.
Good to know.
They're strong. Many of my men have been lost. Some speak of just one look, even, and then someone's gone. It's tragic, really. We're preparing them the best that we can, and you can see she kind of like motions with her head over to the people who are kind of like training, and you hear like all types of like sword slashes. You hear the from the arrows that are like striking the targets of those who are doing archery training. And then you also see down in the pit like even louder grunts. It seems to be from like a booming male voice, and from you guys you can see it comes from him, and he's like barking orders as well, though not as nice as Governess Seagarden. You hear he's like demeaning and basically like belittling the city guard who he's training, and he's just kind of like cursing at them and, you know, like telling them they're weak and unworthy and that, you know, they should shape up. And she kind of overhears this too and just kind of like rolls her eyes and says, well, I'm trying to do it in a better way than some, but we're trying to prepare them for whatever this is. It's been ongoing and it's getting worse, it seems. Do you know anything of it? Have you come across any on your travels here? We didn't,
yes.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Two, right?
Two?
Yeah. There was the one in
How
the
did you do
inner
it?
lark.
Was there any weakness that you were able to figure out?
I shocked it a couple of times with lightning. That seemed to.
I think
yes.
Fireball worked pretty well on it too.
Magic in general.
Magic. Ugh. You can see she kind of crosses her arms, of course. Always magic. Well,
maybe magical weapons.
And as soon as she says like "well" and she's about to continue her conversation, you hear from this gentleman that you saw that was like booming and like barking orders and kind of demeaning the men. He goes, "Hey, Seagarden, what the fuck are you doing? Why don't you be training the men like I am, eh?" And you can see she kind of turns around, adjusts her back, and you can see that all the other soldiers as well have kind of stopped to kind of see how this tense situation plays out. And you know, she... Actually, I'll let you make an insight check on her. Nice. So you all know that this is has very quickly become a tense situation. But Tarvik, you're catching a little bit of the dynamic, and it's a little bit early, but as the dynamic plays out, as I RP, you'll notice that there's like a history between the two, not in a romantic sense, but in the sense of like power dynamic. And you can kind of tell that the guy who is kind of like barking at her is actually a not a superior, but someone below her, beneath her rank, but he's like challenging her in the tone and in the words that he chooses. You can see he's a human male. He has like dark hair and he's very buff, seems very strong, has lots of muscles, and he's kind of like doing a pose where, you know, he's like positioning himself like he's a superior as he kind of barks this towards her. So you can see she like tenses up a little bit, strains her back, just like grits her teeth a little bit and says, "Zeke, I have company. I'm sure you can handle your men just as well, and I will get back to my training with those as soon as I'm done speaking with these fine folk of the city. As you know, I have more responsibility than you. I'm sure you understand this." And Zeke just kind of spits towards the ground and says, "Boy, whatever, fuck off," to you guys. And he just goes towards like the men and starts barking orders again. You can see everyone like loosens up again, starts their training as they were before. But it appears that, you know, things are a little bit tense between the two people here. And she kind of turns back to you, Seagart, and says, "I apologize for my comrade. He's... I don't know what he is. He's an idiot."
Yeah?
Sounds like an ass.
Yeah.
Quite so. And she smiles, very much liking that you all think that he's an ass as well.
Okay, well, we're looking into it. We're gonna slay some of those. We call them Gloomers. I think you should advertise that their name is Gloomers.
Gloomers. How interesting. How did you come up with that name?
Have you looked at them?
Thankfully, no. But my men have told me stories. They're
Rita, show her the
shrouded in
picture.
darkness. Rita definitely goes in her book, shows the drawing,
Picture?
the absolutely amazing drawing that she did. I just, see, look, Gloomers. And you see Governess Seagar, and she just kind of nods her head and says, "Yeah, they definitely, they're gloomy, all right."
Yep. Just
sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say, Rita, do you not have like a spell where you can make like an illusion of an image appear?
Oh. Yes, I do. And she casts Minor Illusion, and she does like a very not detailed, kind of grainy image in her hand. And Governor Seagarten just kind of nods her head, and says, "Yeah, I mean, the picture that you showed me was lovely. Rita, was it? Thank you very much, and your magic, even more so detailed. Thank you. The description fits perfectly with what the men have told me, and unfortunately, these things keep coming around here and there. We've increased guard around the city, so hopefully that will keep all the citizens safe, though everyone's a little anxious nowadays."
We heard there might be some missing people.
That's also been an issue, unfortunately. We don't know if these so-called gloomers, as you call it, the death creatures is what we've been calling them as, but we don't know if they're the ones who are taking them, or perhaps they are fleeing and abandoning their family members. But with so many stories of the members and those close acquaintances, we don't think it's the latter. We think they're somehow tied with these creatures, but we can't quite tell what the connection is. If you find any information, please, of course, come to any one of the stations at S.H.I.E.L.D. and let them know that you know me personally, and we can discuss. This is at the forefront of one of the things that we're very concerned about here in the city, and so any information should be reported, please.
Of course.
Great. Will do.
You see Zeke start climbing up from out of the pit, and just obnoxious as all hell, comes around and says, "Hey, fucking Judith! When are you gonna be done talking to these little fucks?" As he just kind of like brushes past you guys. He kind of shoulder checks you, actually, Cassandra. And he positions himself like right up to Governess Seagarden. And at all of you again kind of notice like the soldiers and the city guard around just kind of like half-heartedly continuing their training, but they're actually like trying to pay attention to what the fuck is happening. As he kind of like gets up in front of her and just kind of like twirls around and says, "We got fucking work to do," and is like facing towards you guys.
Can we like? I don't know what to do.
Oh, what?
We've already slain some of these death creatures.
Pipe up, skinny boy. He kind of like motions towards you.
I cast mage armor on myself.
Sure.
Can I?
Oh, what? You gonna protect yourself with some stupid magic shit?
Yeah, I was about to say. As I see that, I'm just gonna step forward and put a hand on Roland's shoulder and like push him back and be like, "We'll get out of your way and allow you to continue training if you would like."
Yeah, that's right. Fuck off.
If you would like to see how we beat the what we call gloomers, I suppose you call them death creatures. I'd be welcome. I'd be more than willing to show you if you would like.
Oh, you think you're a big man, eh? Well then, step right up, mate. Come on. You can see he's kind of just like puffing his shoulders.
Okay, that's fair. Would you like to go down into the pit?
Oh, big man. Alright, you fuckers! Stop what you're doing! Get the fuck out! And you can see he's like talking to everyone in the pit, and they just like scurry up and out, and they get out of the way. Here. He just fucking jumps in the pieces. Come on! He like taps his shoulder, or taps his pecs with both hands. You can see he is. I'll expand this for you. It's kind of like a standard token. But he has like a shield, and he has like a sphere, and he has some of city guard armor on. But that's his token over there. And he says, Governess Seagarden, through all of this, it just kind of puts her hand in her face, stops you for a moment, and calls out to you, "Sir, you do not have to do this. He needs to... I will put him in his place. Please."
Okay, if you would prefer to do that, I'll let you do that.
You can see...
Or, you know, a demonstration could be good for your men. Perhaps get a new perspective for their training.
A demonstration they'll get. And she jumps down into the pit.
Ooh.
And she like charges at him, and for the sake of this, I'm not gonna bore you with their combat, but she like strikes first, and she like gets a quick attack in, and then he kind of like starts to parry it, and they are basically just like cling clang clang, like they're like sparring and they're blocking, and then they're like getting jabs in. And very quickly, you get a sense for their fighting style. So Zeke, the guy, has like a very brutish type of fighting with like a lot of power going in, and you can see Seagarden has a lot of like martial adeptness. So she's like parrying, and then she's also a little bit quicker, though a little bit less strong, but she like makes up for it with her dexterity as she like continues to block and continues to fight, and then she kind of like bats down Zeke on his back, and he kind of like stumbles forward and puts his hands on the ground, and then she kind of like arcs her longsword and like stops right at his throat, and he said, and she just like states down to him, Zeke, I appreciate your willingness to showcase your strengths to everyone. However, I would ask you save your strength to train others. And maybe save your strength for actually fighting these death creatures we're all facing. Understood? And she kind of like, you can see a little bit of blood trickle from his neck as she just kind of like juts it just a little bit closer to his throat. And he just puts his hands up. He says, fine. We'll get those fuckers out of here. Wasting our time. And so she just kind of holds down her sword, climbs up, and she kind of looks everyone. Without a word, she just does like a alley-oop signal with her hands, and everyone like kind of jumps back down, goes into training. As she walks up to you guys, says, as I said, I took care of it, and my sincerest apologies for his goading. He has a stubbornness and a willingness to fight over all else.
Oh, that's not any redeemable quality?
No, but he's a decent fighter. And the fact that I'm now his superior is still settling with him. And she kind of smiles a little bit. But with all of that handled, and you can see Zeke is like even more being like mean and brutish to the guys that are down here, because he's like trying to save face. So he's like cursing even more, and he's like throwing hands, and just like being very being rough and like position, like dragging them over to a position and say, no, you start here, and like you hear that in the background, and she just kind of says, well, as I said, if you have any information, please bring it forward to any SHIELD station or any SHIELD member, and hopefully we'll be able to take that information and do something good with it. She looks towards, actually, Tarvik, make an insight check. I'll say just you because of your passive. I'll let you roll this.
Yeah. 25.
Interesting. When she was talking about her being above Zeke, you noticed that she like immediately changed the topic after that. You're not quite exactly sure why, but you noticed there was like a shift. She tried to cover it very well, but you kind of like saw through it.
Okay. Well, I feel like Tarvik will really follow up with that, but it's good to know.
That was a great fight, Governess.
She just kind of smiles and nods. Thank you. I do believe I'm not too bad of a fighter. That's why I'm in the position that I'm in. And Roland, actually, roll a history check for me. This might be something that you would know.
21.
Nice. Okay. So for you, you're not aware of all the people in the government in these houses, but you're familiar with at least like some of them. I would say the Shield House is like present enough in the day-to-day lives of people that like some people might know. And with your history check, you know that Zeke actually used to be second chair within Shield House. So there are different chairs. So you have first chair, second chair, third chair, and everyone else. And Zeke used to be second chair. But having heard just now that Seagarden is above Zeke, you recognize that there is some type of power shift.
Do I know who first chair is, and it's definitely not her?
Yes, it's definitely not her. You know that it is General Eros Denoth. You can put that name in chat. Shield House. Eros Denoth.
Forgive me for being forward, but have you become second chair of Shield House?
I have.
It's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
You were well.
So, as I mentioned before, should you have any information, please let us know. And I must excuse myself to go back to training. Though Zeke's approach was incorrect. These men do need my assistance and guidance.
Okay. Bye.
She just kind of nods and patiently waits until she sees movement that you guys are gonna go, and then just kind of steps off to where she was originally and goes back to kind of giving guidance to the men that she was training.
Just from like my knowledge, do I know that the like title of governess, does that like make sense with her station as part of the Shield House, or is that like a noble title that's independent of her station within Shield House?
No. So you know that. Actually, I messed up my own lore. Sorry, I didn't read my notes correctly. Did you guys call her Governess Seagarten at all during your interaction?
I think I said hello,
Yeah.
governess. Yeah.
Okay.
She was the governess of Parabor, right?
That was the title that she went by in Parabor. That's how you knew her, yes.
Yeah.
Tarvik, you would have noted that she would like smile tersely at the mention of governess. So if she is now above Zeke, that would make her colonel due to Seagarten.
Okay.
So you would kind of tie together that if she has been promoted to be above Zeke, that she has now the title of colonel.
And I asked her about being second chair, then I would have said, congratulations, Colonel.
Yeah, we can work on that for sure.
I can't
Very
spell
cool.
Colonel. Okay.
I gotta update my notes.
So governess though is a ranking that's like somewhere below Colonel.
You would think. I'll say, you know
Or is it
what,
like
I'll give you, with your history check, because that's a good history check. Governess is the third chair title. So Zeke, essentially now, instead of being colonel, is now Governor Zeke. And you would know his last name is Greer. And his full name is Zeke, but he goes by Zeke. You would know that. Shield House is very present, because they're an important house.
He'll get along with the mayor, Ron.
Alright, so you guys continue journeying on, I suppose, to Herald's Holdfast? Yes?
I'll just say to Tarvik, man, I would have loved to see you fight him, though.
It was probably for the best if I did not. I didn't really want to hurt him.
Yeah,
and I feel like
destroyed him.
I also feel that he probably would have accused me of cheating if I used magic. So
True. Yeah, you would have had to just stick to your sword or axe.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys continue traveling through the city, you reach the gates that were up here, or down there, I should say. And you notice again the heavier presence of the guards, and basically just like the guards keeping vigilant eye outside, but also like clocking who goes in and who goes out a little bit, as they kind of eye you up as you leave. You journey just a little bit outside of the city walls, and you do still see the city walls off in the distance, though you're no longer like right next to it. I'd say it's like a 30-minute walk or so. outside. And as you approach, there appears to be some more buildings that appear to crop up, though unlike the city. These are a little bit more spaced out and a little bit smaller in their nature. Seems like you're going into a smaller, like, outlying little crop of homes and businesses and such. And the one building that you approach that is on your left-hand side, very quickly you notice that this one stands out a little bit. Though not too outlandish, it does have a bit of a grandeur to it and looks like it was well taken care of, as well as when it was built, meant to be strong. And so you like notice the craftsmanship that went into building this bigger building. Roland, you recognize the steps of this place very well. This is the Herald's Holdfast, that of which you have been many, many times. It serves as like a library of sorts. All of you, other than Roland, make a history check for me. I'll do one for Rita as well.
History, gotcha.
History, yep.
That's not come.
Because Roland, you're very familiar with the Holdfast and all of its knowledge. Yeah. Not working?
I need to refresh, yeah. I tried it 3 times. Let me, I'll reload. It's gonna be low anyways. I have 0.
You never know. You might roll good. Don't say that.
Here we go.
Alright. Anything with a, I'll say with a 14 and above. So Tarvik, you're not quite aware of this, but if you roll 14 or higher, which Rita did, so Rita would know this, is that in the realm that you are in, there are different keepers of knowledge and information. And this Herald's Holdfast is one of them. You don't know quite exactly the depth of what they do, and what kind of information they hold or what their purpose is. 9.
Yeah.
But you know that they are a source of information and almost like protectors and keepers of knowledge. But that is the extent of what you know. There may or may not be more to it. As you walk up to, I'm trying to think, kind of like a concrete colored and material type of building, you see like larger than normal sized doors that go in. Roland, very familiar to you as you walk up these steps. What do you guys do?
All right, Roland, I think you're gonna have to lead the way on this one. You're the book guy.
Mm-hmm.
Last I was here, Eleonora, Silverthrone was a leader within the Heralds. She was a mentor and a good person. I believe best to request to see her.
Okay.
All right.
But the main part of the library is at least semi-public. I mean, it's they hold like a records, a census, ability, births, deaths, marriages, things like that. There's no reason why they should deny us access, I don't think. Stop me, DM, if I say anything bad.
Oh, that's good.
But, yeah. And I think I'll go up, and I'm assuming it's a public library, so you just open the door and go in. You don't have to knock or anything.
Yeah.
Or should I not?
Yeah, okay. No. So you can go in, though. I'm trying to. Yeah, kind of like a public library. Towards the front, there would be like a receptionist person there at the desk, but it's free to roam around.
Go in. Do I recognize the person behind the desk?
You do. It is a older woman. Seems like she has a little bit of gray in her hair. You know she's human. You've seen her before. She's a. I already said human. Her name is Bray, and you can see as you walk in, she says, Oh, why, I haven't seen that face in quite some time. I believe it is a Leodon. Roland, if I'm not mistaken. And you can tell she's saying that out of politeness, but she for sure remembers who you are. Everyone in the library remembers who you are.
Hail, Bray. It's good to see you.
Wonderful to see you as well. May I ask, who are your accompanying friends? She kind of points to everyone.
Yes, of course. Noble heroes of Parabor, Cassandra, Rita, and Tarvik. Well met. Forgive me for being quick, but if Eleonora if Miss Silverthrone is in available, I would be very much glad to see her.
Yes. Do please wait here. She's kind of eyeing all of you guys, and you get from just taking a look at everyone else. There's not a lot of people in here, but there's like a couple people. They're all like in plain clothes, and you guys kind of stand out with like all of your armor and weapons. And so she kind of like eyes you and says, "Do please, dear, stay here with your comrades. This is a place of learning, and those sharp instruments don't do well with all of our paper." She kind of gives a smile. "I'll bring Eleonora down here." And she just kind of stands up and goes off into the library.
Probably should have asked Joe ahead of time, but this is the place that I would recommend for, bringing a certain dangerous item. Are you all comfortable with at least showing it to the heralds?
I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's fine to show it to them. It's okay. as long as we're not giving them the dangerous item that we don't have yet. I feel like
the one we have.
Yes, the one we have is fine to give to them.
Sure.
Realistically, a locked chest is probably as good, but this will work.
Mm-hmm.
You see a few moments pass, and she comes back with Eleonora Silverthrone. And she just kind of sits in and just kind of like puts her hand up and says, "Mr. Leodon is back, Eleonora." And you see Eleonora, she, like, her face beams up. She has a bright smile on her face. She's fairly slim, and she just has, like, very long, blonde, almost whitish hair that grows very long down her back. Has, like, a very nice, natural, like, wave to it. And you can see she's an older woman, just very prim and proper, despite her age. She like doesn't sag down. She doesn't move like she's older, but you can tell that her age, she is aging. But she like beams with a wonderful big smile and kind of outstretches her arms to you, Roland, and says, "Oh, how lovely! You're back." Goes in for a hug.
I'll hug her.
"Oh, wonderful. How lovely to see you. And you have guests, I see."
I do. Big adventurers and good companions.
Wonderful.
May we speak in your office behind closed doors?
You can see she looks a little concerned, but she says, "Oh, of course. Thank you very much, Bray." As she just kind of nods to Bray and motions for all of you to follow. You can see that this isn't like a huge place, but it has some space to it. So there's like a main area where everyone kind of has access to, and then there's like a very large prominent staircase that once you go off into the main area, you can see it kind of goes up. Everything is wooden. It looks beautiful in here. Very well kept, basically like no dust. And you can see it's probably because as Eleonora walks, you see her cast what you've all seen Roland cast before, Prestidigitation, as she just kind of walks by and she just like cleans up little bits that she notices out of the corner of her eye, barely looking. She just kind of does it out of habit, just continuously like cleaning up And you guys walk up this beautiful wooden staircase up to a more private area. It has a banister so you can look down amongst the actual public space of the library. And you can see that there are much more older books up here, older records, parchments. And you can see that there are a few people just kind of stationed around the banister, just kind of like looking down casually from time to time while they're reading their book. You guys can probably tell that these are employees of the Holdfast, and they're just keeping an eye on making sure that like no one's trying to steal anything or no one's doing anything disagreeable within the space. As you walk up, she opens a door into not a very large space, but it's definitely very beautiful. It has like a very rich red rug underneath. There is a small fireplace that is lit, and you can see like a personal bookshelf and bookcase that houses some books of hers, as well as like a small writing desk. And she motions for you guys to sit down on some of the seats that are available. She kind of takes her place behind the desk and says, "Oh, well, I suppose you have a little bit of business then, Roland?"
Perhaps. Just, we, I suppose...
I hope nothing too bad. Is this,
No.
of something... Oh, okay.
No, just something perhaps secret, but not bad. We encountered, a dangerous, cursed, item. Wanted your opinion on it, and to know whether or not the Heralds might have a way to keep it from hurting anyone else.
You don't think that is bad if it is cursed item?
Well, it's not bad news. It's no immediate danger, nothing like that. But, and I'd like to tell her the story of the marrow and how we found the trident, and kind of an abbreviated, not too embarrassing version of what happened afterwards with the trident and why we're concerned about it. And one particular detail I'm leaving out.
Yeah.
But otherwise, and just want to know her opinion on if she knows any of the history of it, or if or what we should do with it.
Mm-hmm. And you don't present it to her, right? You're just telling her.
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
With this,
I'll let the rest of the group kind of.
With this information, she kind of puts her fingers to her face and just kind of lightly thrums. I know of cursed items. However, I don't believe I know of this one in particular. You say it's a parable, and it was with the marrow, so perhaps it has something to do... if somehow the water engage with the underdark, perhaps there may be a connection there. However, I can't quite speak to that. I would have to do a little bit more research, Roland. I'm afraid to give you the answers that you seek. I apologize.
What should we do with it? Should we bury it in a hole?
Well, the thing with cursed items is that sometimes they have a way of enticing others and drawing them into finding the item. It's quite a bit of old arcane understanding that cursed items should absolutely be destroyed if at all possible, so that they may not fall into the hands of someone who might be detrimented by it. In terms of destroying this, have you tried any magical means of destroying? I, unfortunately, as you know, Roland, I do quite a bit of reading in here and of trying to obtain knowledge of all sorts, but I particularly don't have a high level of magic myself, unfortunately, though I do continue studying. It seems like all of you are adventurers and seem quite strong. Do any of you have magical capabilities?
Oh,
yes.
I mean, Yes, I could try dispelling magic on the eye. That is definitely a thing I could try. Hypothetically, though, does the Herald not have places to hide such things to keep them away from, being a danger without having to destroy them?
Roland, make an insight check. Roland, I am so sorry to say, unfortunately, as you know, we protect things like records of the city and of different details of the noble classes that have come and gone, as well as some other information. However, in terms of secret items that might be cursed, I'm afraid that we don't have any place like this for such an item. I will say, though, however, perhaps I can call upon one of our more seasoned magic practices, and they could assist us in dealing with such a magical item by, like you said, attempting some type of dispel magic to try and rid the item of the curse.
Perhaps.
Though you said
I'm so sorry, you guys. Can we break for 2 minutes? I need to run to the bathroom so bad.
Sure thing. Sure. We'll do a 10-minute break. Actually.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't know where we were in the conversation, but I think she just rejected the idea of having a place to store a magical item such as this. Correct me if I'm wrong.
She had just she had mentioned maybe getting someone to help us destroy it potentially, that had magical means.
Yeah, but, and she was about to say, Roland, did you say that you also have such magic? Have you improved upon your studies?
I have. I learned a great deal in my time away.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. And would you be able to do something like this? Have you tried?
I've not. My group, please. We haven't really discussed destroying it. What are your all's thoughts?
Well, you're really great with fire.
Well, yes,
we can try it at least.
But do we want to destroy it? Are we okay with the trident being destroyed?
I mean, could you just remove the curse separately, or?
I would try a spell called Dispel Magic. I think I have to target the object. I don't think I get to pick what parts of its magic I do and don't dispel. But also, it only really dispels a spell on the target. I don't know how it would affect, a magical item.
Yeah.
Definitely can target an object, though, but... yes, and I could just fireball it. That is also an option. Because I could literally just try to obliterate it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was looking at my spells. I don't have much in the way of spells.
Bam! Cassandra does it for an attack. Divine Baby.
Yeah.
I could stab it.
If I may interject,
I
do believe that some cursed items, destroying the actual item itself is a little bit harder than usual items due to the fact of the nature of the curse itself, protecting said item, to ensure the curse survives, if you will. So I believe if you were to fireball it, Roland, I would ask that you do it outside of the library, and B, I might recommend an alternative route, as I do not know how fruitful that would be. However, if you have the ability to try, of course, like any good student, trying is always a way to learn.
If y'all aren't sad about it being destroyed, I think the first step would try to spell magic on it. I don't know. Could just keep it wrapped up, but
it's extra weight that we're carrying around, and I don't think any of us would use it as a weapon.
Not after it's been cursed like this, no.
Yeah.
I suppose I could use it as a weapon, but again, I feel like unless we are quite certain the curse is gone, I would be hesitant to.
Right, yeah. It has I identified it, Eleonora, and it has the ability to dominate a beast, which is not an insignificant spell.
That is correct. It is not insignificant. That is quite a useful item.
And except for technically being it's unreasonable, can't set it down kind of a thing going on, it didn't actually hurt us too terribly bad. I don't know. I mean, I feel like in our hands this could be a useful thing.
I don't know much about curses.
Is it? What, Eleanor? Do you know? Is it likely that the curse is more significant than what we saw? Would it eventually hurt us? I mean, is it gonna?
It's so hard to tell, unfortunately. Some curses, yes, they appear like very insignificant at first, but then over time, they reveal themselves to be something of greater consequence. However, some may be minor curses where it is quite a hindrance. However, no undue harm comes to the individual. So, as I mentioned, with such limited information on what this item actually is and where it came from, and its power, I fear that it could be either. And with such a chance as that, I don't believe it should remain, and we should do all we can to try and remove it from this world, if at all possible. As I said, I don't necessarily have the power, but if what you all try to do and it doesn't work, then perhaps I can reach out to a fellow compatriot of mine to see if they can come and assist us, though it may take some time for them to come and travel here.
Okay. What do you all think of this? I kind of say to my group, we can go outside, go find a nice area away from the Holdfast. I mean, we could try to destroy it. I could just try to spell magic here. I don't know.
You would. But, why don't we try that first, maybe? As we don't need to go outside to do it.
True.
I think. I look over. No. I look over at to make sure that we're not violating some rules by doing magic in the library. But
as long as it is safe for the items surrounding, then yes, please do so.
Who has the trident on them?
I think I've had it strapped to my backpack, so I will, I guess, take it off my backpack. It's rolled up, so I'll unroll the fabric and, I guess, set the fabric on the floor with the trident in it.
Alright, you gently place it on the ground.
I'm gonna target the object and cast Dispel Magic.
Okie dokie, thank you for putting that in the chat. Please make DC equals 10 plus the spells.
It only specifically says it works for a spell, each spell affecting the target. I'm not sure Dispel Magic's supposed to work on things like this.
It's
I'm not.
It's not, however, for funsies, can you please make an Arcana check for me?
Oh,
man, not the natural thing that I was looking for. Looking for a 20. As you go ahead and cast Dispel Magic, you know that your magic has affected, and it seems to have casted properly. The nature of it, you don't know what the outcome is. It looks just as it was.
And I cast Detect Magic. I have to take much. I have to ritually cast it.
We got all day.
Time.
Yeah, I will ritually cast detect magic.
All right, so you kind of sit down, concentrate. You guys just kind of waiting while Roland.
Well, I guess we can do a different part while Roland's waiting. I'll pipe up to Roland. I'll be like, Roland, is this the woman I should ask about, like, books on information, or on information we need, or is there a different woman we need to talk to about that?
She can point you towards the right person, I'm sure. You should ask her.
Okay. I have a very weird question.
Yes.
Do you know what
the Muffin Man?
Yes, the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin
Man.
Yes.
Sorry. As soon as you like elongate, like, do you know? That just popped into my head.
Yes. Drazzle.
And
Wait.
Or Drazzle. The Drazzle.
Is this an item or a person that you speak of?
That is an excellent question.
I'm afraid I'm unaware of such item or person. However, I can ask some of my colleagues to look into it for you. Though, with a bit of a broad stroke, I'm not quite sure what we'll find, but we can of course search.
Yes. I'm sorry, I cannot be more specific. I know this information in a way that is very unbelievable.
Oh, do tell, I'm quite interested.
I receive it's a memory, but it doesn't feel like a memory.
A memory that doesn't feel like a memory.
It's a very unmemorable moment that only appeared when I was in the Shadowfell.
Oh,
briefly.
My. You were in the Shadowfell? That's
Briefly,
quite
yes.
a dangerous place from what I hear and what I've researched.
Mm-hmm.
Have all of you gone?
Yep. I was going to tell you about that.
Oh, well, I'm very glad that all of you have survived such an environment.
Two out of 4 of us, yes. Definitely 2 out of 4 of us survived that environment.
In Rita's head, Pick is like, oh, and I did as well. I came out of there as well. But she, of course, can't hear. You're right. So she continues on. Oh, well, the Shadowfell sometimes can create sensory illusions, perhaps is the right wording for it, that seem to mess with one's mind from what I've read about it. It's quite a dangerous place. Perhaps it was one of the effects? Have you noticed any other symptoms or side effects after returning from your travels there?
What would the side effects be?
I'm not quite sure, but any type of ill feeling or a sense of gloom, perhaps, as the Shadowfell, from what I know of it, is quite a realm filled with death and, as its name alludes to, shadows.
Doesn't Rita still have that effect?
Rita does, but not because of Pick, right?
Oh, okay.
You guys have had a long rest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then that would have gone away.
Oh, okay.
Her apathy. Yeah, that would have gone away. She does have it in here, so I'll just let her know that she can remove that.
Gotcha.
I don't feel any of that, right? Like, I don't feel... Not long I should say this. I don't feel any of that because of the Shadowfell, correct?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I don't believe I've felt any change there.
as I see it, then you're perhaps fine. However, it is quite strange that you would have you said a memory that isn't quite a memory. It seems a bit strange to me.
Yes, it's a memory from maybe 20 years ago now that is very immemorable in my mind. But it popped into my mind when I was there, and it is now, and followed by the word Drazzle, and that is it.
Perhaps I can allocate some of my colleagues' time and efforts to search into this as well, to see what we can come up with in terms of specifically the Shadowfell and immemorable memories becoming memorable again.
If you do search for Drazzle at all, I don't know why. Maybe start down the religions. Well,
I will make a note of this, and she kind of starts writing.
Just a weird feeling. No, not really a definition to it.
Religious.
Speaking of religion, where's the Temple of the Raven Queen?
Oh, it's quite rare to find someone and have them ask about the Raven Queen. She's not quite well known. How do you know of the Raven Queen?
But
I'm sorry?
She's just like my friend. You know, she helped me out.
You can see she's just kind of like nodding with like her eyes just like, sure.
She's really, really cool, and she's like really intimidating, and I just kind of want to know more about her.
Yes, well, I do believe that there is a small shrine dedicated to her on the outskirts of town, to the southeast, little plot of houses and such over in that area, though I don't quite know specifically where. I myself am only knowledgeable of her due to the extensive research me and my colleagues do here in the library.
Interesting. What about necromancers? Is there like, do you guys keep tabs on what the active necromancers are?
Luckily, necromancy is quite a frowned upon type of. Why can't I think of the word? Quite frowned upon in terms of field of study.
Sure.
So, if there is such things happening, my best guess would be in those very large cities on the west coast, the Sword Coast. However, here, I have no knowledge of such dark things happening. However, there have been those death creatures, though I don't believe that they are of a necromantic wizard, if you will. They seem to be just spawning and coming around here, around the city, preying upon any folk who wander around at night. That's the closest thing that I can think of in relation to necromancy that's happening here.
Okay. That was my questions.
And at this time, probably Roland, you have completed your ritual casting of Protect Magic. You cast it, and you do sense that the Trident still has it.
Don't think my attempt to dispel worked on it.
Oh, how unfortunate.
Perhaps you could call your acquaintance to see if their magic could. Who is this acquaintance you're thinking of?
Oh, it is a colleague of mine, though you would not know of him.
Someone that would be valuable for me to meet for training, learning new magics.
Perhaps, though he's a bit bristly. Perhaps if you, I'll get word to him and determine if he can stop by and figure out how long that would take. And if you're still in town, then perhaps you two can meet. However, I do warn you, like I said, he's a bit bristly. So it would all depend on your interaction. And you can see she's a bit hesitant and like trying to like recommend him because of what she said. Like she thinks that he's a bristly person, so yeah, she's not like outright like, yeah, like learn from magic from him because he's awesome. Like she seems to be a little bit reserved.
Okay, well, if you recommend him and do you think he can destroy the trident, then probably worth reaching out.
Yes, I will do so. Apologies that I appear to have not been giving you much information and just letting you know that I would ask my colleagues to do some research. Though these are quite particular topics of interest that you are all coming across.
Found myself in strange time and company for sure.
Indeed, and Roland, do you mind if we speak in private for a moment?
Of course.
Excuse us, a bit of a personal matter. And she just kind of takes you outside of the room. If you'll wait here for a moment.
Okay.
She just speaks to you outside of... Oh, wait, what do you do?
I want to search the room while she's out.
Oh, love it. Investigation check. Ooh, very nice. You see, like, it's a nice room. It's not ostentatious at all, but it's nice. As she's like the head of this institution, you see that, you know, there's a bunch of books on her bookcases, ranging from like the history of Duros itself, and also just like nobility titles and like due process and like how the government has established itself. Basically like all that kind of stuff. And then you see that on the lowest shelf are books and tomes of like magic. And you see in very good detail, because that's a good investigation check, you can see that the books on magic are fairly worn, as it appears like she reaches for these often, and she apparently is like trying to study. And you see like just the room itself, other than that, like has nice decorations, has nice furniture and stuff, but nothing like no hidden doors or whatever. But you like go back to her drawer, like her writing desk area, and you like start opening drawers and stuff. You see she has like stationery, she has some wax seals and such like that. And then you notice like a few messages about the issue of the death creatures, and like writings from people that you're unfamiliar with, but it seems like they have some type of station within the city, as they're writing and saying like, please look into death creatures, and like, well, you know, like certain things like how to keep soldiers well armed. In any previous historical cases of these creatures, like, did anything come up before? Just like requests for research and to look into materials. You also see a paper of formerly governess, now Colonel Seagarton's change in station. You can see like a form that's just kind of like put in with a bunch of other like papers. You kind of see. What else might you find? Nothing like too scandalous or anything, just like a bunch of, you know, like documents, papers, things to do.
No necromancer robes or...
No necromancer robes.
Okay. I'm gonna cross out death creatures on a couple of the documents and write gloomers.
I Love it. Tarvik, you see Cassandra start investigating. What do you do, if anything?
I'm actively ignoring that and talking with Rita. And just be like, no, I thought I read the situation correctly. This is another person I should not have told that Roland peed his pants during the curse incident, correct?
Rita says, no, this is the person you should have told.
Oh, my mistake. Please, next time, just tap me on the shoulder and let me know.
And then Rita would also be
make them aware.
Yeah, Rita would also be inundated with like Pick chiming in here and there. But Roland, she takes you outside and just a few steps by the door, and she just speaks in like a normal but a little lowered voice, and she says, I know this is a bit of a sore topic. However, the mishap with the fire that everyone else believed that you had caused, if you recall, which I, of course, my dear, I do not believe for a moment. We did find that it was due to a purposeful incident where it appears it was meant as a distraction of some sorts for us, and something was stolen from us. Do you know of anything about this?
Do I know anything about this?
You do not.
No, I don't know anything about this. What was stolen?
It appears it was a book. Luckily, we were able to distinguish that it was missing due to recovering what was left of the scene. We did some reparations and realized that after we were cataloging all of the items, that the book of the Lore of LaRue was missing. However, I do believe that some of our colleagues at the Candlekeep Libraries has recovered it. So I do believe that the situation has been handled by itself, which is very good to know. However, we're quite unsure of why it became a diversion to steal the book from us, only for it to land back at the Candlekeep. So if you come across any information about this, that would be great to share. However, foremost, I wanted to apologize on behalf of everyone here at the library for them not believing you. And though they won't admit it, I, as the leader here, of course, wanted to share the apologies.
No apologies needed, Nora. You always defended me, and I appreciate that.
You would never do such a thing. I understand. You're quite careful, just like me. And she just like warmly smiles at you.
Quite careful. A lot has happened to me in the recent days, Nora. Can I confess something to you?
Yes, I was just about to ask if there is something weighing upon your mind, Roland.
My hair won't lie flat, Nora.
I noticed a bit that it was a little bit unwieldy. Your typical
I think
means...
I died.
Excuse me? I'm sorry? Did you just say that you died?
When the shadow fell, I think I died.
Oh dear. And she just like outstretches her arms to hug you.
Thank you, Nora, but Nora, there's so many things that have come up. I've stumbled into a mystery that I think is, well, I think I'm out of my depth. Strange, were-ravens that are hiding dangerous artifacts and portals to other realms, and a necromancer with the... I don't even know. It's all so very much.
It seems like a lot. How do you feel right now? Other than your hair, which is a paltry culture thing. Your soul, you feel okay?
I don't know. I no longer feel weak like I did immediately after, but I feel different. I feel like my body and my soul are not quite the same. Catch myself having impulsive thoughts and
are these
not all
thoughts
changing.
Are these thoughts drawing you to hurt anybody?
No, just curious about things, and I don't know, I don't think so. No more so than before, anyways.
Well, I hope that before was nothing. But, Roland, this does concern me gravely. You know how much, how dearly I hold you to my heart. Is there anything that I can do in particular to help you through whatever it is that you seem to be going through? How are you resurrected?
I ate a flower.
Oh, some type of magical healing flower. I've heard some fauna have been known to have some magical healing properties.
Perhaps. I think though that perhaps this was more of a powerful creature through their blessing. I had visions of something fey, a goat man.
Oh, well, Fae is in your blood. Perhaps it was your ancestry protecting you.
You think I have a goat man in my ancestry, perhaps? Is that even possible?
The goat man portion of it, perhaps not. Perhaps your mind developed a scene that you could interpret. Do you think this was a divine intervention?
Are Fae divine?
Well, some have their ties, yes. They're more divine than any such person like myself, a mere human.
I think perhaps then, I really think it was an intervention of something powerful. Is that something that there's records of in the library, of powerful creatures?
There have been stories where some individuals have been resurrected in a divine form, others a more medicinal route as well. However, more likely than not, almost all cases of the resurrection have been of divine magic, something a little bit out of our purview as wizards. However, those who align themselves and dedicate their lives to higher beings have been graced with magic that can resurrect, as I mentioned before. Perhaps I can look into this further about what kind of deity, if you will, intervened. Do you remember anything else other than it was a goat? Goat man, excuse me.
Definitely a goat man. He spoke in riddles. He spoke as though I should remember something, but wouldn't tell me what it is. Wouldn't tell me his name.
That surely tracks with those divine. They don't like to be forthright, if you know what I mean. They like to play games with us.
I saw a clearing in a strange wood. And I'll just kind of go through and tell her as much of the details as I can of the
for sure
interaction.
Yeah, and she just says, "Oh, all these details, quite interesting." And she tries to make a mental note. I should write all of this down though, so I don't miss any details. Do you mind if we go in? Are your comrades aware of all of this? You should have a support network, Roland.
They are. I'm very grateful to have them.
Oh, wonderful.
We all have some, well, perhaps not all, but strangeness seems to be happening to all of us, so they've been very accommodating with believing me when such things come up.
How lovely, Roland. I just want you to be safe, and as I mentioned before, should there be anything that I can do to help assist you in what you're going through, please don't hesitate to reach out. And she just kind of like tries to flatten your hair a little bit, realizing it's not working, and just kind of like pats you on the shoulder.
No, I was surprised that you said there was no safe place to keep cursed objects. I was under the impression that there was more to the Holdfast, that there was secrets, that this was a haven. Is it not?
It is a haven of sorts. However, things are always a little bit more complex, as you know. And unfortunately, that is as much as I can say. Roland, make an insight check. Ooh,
okay, that's the other way.
Damn! So, you can tell there's definitely a secret place. She's lying. And your relationship with her, like, she trusts you. Like, she was the only one who backed you when everyone else blamed you for the fire, but she believed you. Like, your relationship with her is tight. However, you notice that she's hesitating to tell you and reveal anything, probably because it's something bigger that you may not have, like, quote-unquote clearance for. So even though she holds you dear and trusts you, there's like a certain level of a barrier that's up that, like, your current relationship with her doesn't allow her to, like, speak to you about these things. I would say with a nat 20 insight on her, you immediately recall, for some reason, back to when you were speaking with the Scarlet Sash, and they casually mentioned, oh yeah, we know of the Herald's Holdfast. For some reason, that pops in your head with a nat 20. And you can't shake the feeling that somehow all of this is related, but you're just not quite able to penetrate that barrier that she has up. And she feels a little bit sad that she can't tell you. But you get that hesitation from her.
No, I would never ask you to reveal a secret if that secret could hurt someone, and I do not blame you for it, but if there's anything that I can do to prove ourselves, to come into this fold, I'm already in the middle of this mystery.
Perhaps in the future, we'll call upon you for a task. And she kind of, like, cocks her head a little bit to the side. How about you stop by at a later time in the future? And perhaps there may be something.
Well, we will.
She just silently nods and goes to open the door back to the room. She goes straight to her desk and starts, like, writing. If you'll give me a moment, I'm just writing down some details that Roland and I were speaking of, for me to do a little bit more research.
Of course. We'll be back. I think we're going to go out a few more errands in the city, and I think we're going to try to destroy the Gloomer creatures, but I don't think we'll take any more of your time.
Oh, please, no, this is such a wonderful visit. Thank you for coming, Roland. And perhaps once my colleagues and I are able to do a little bit more research, hopefully we'll come up with a bit more fruitful information that we can share with you all. Roland, would you be staying at your residence for us to contact you at?
I believe that's the intent, yes, though we'll likely be out at night fighting off monsters.
I understand. Please be safe, and please allow me to show you out. And she just kind of like allows you all to get up very politely and like go escorts you back down the stairs and out.
Unless you all had anything. Not trying to rush the rest of the group.
If anything else.
Well, no, I didn't have anything else. I'm good.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything Rita would ask about.
I feel like she said that she wanted to do some research, but I don't know the details of what she wanted, so unfortunately I like can't adjust that.
You can cut back.
Can we? Yeah, I was gonna say, would if you're okay with it, like, would you be okay with like next week just saying like, you know, we go back
Rita,
and we talk?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we can just retcon whatever whenever Rita comes back, and we can ask her what she wanted to say, if anything.
Mm-hmm. I'll mention to Nora, perhaps as we're walking out. My friend Rita is writing a book. She is writing about the magical creatures, creating a bestiary of sorts.
Oh, how lovely! That would be a wonderful addition to our collection here. Rita, I wish you good luck. Rita just kind of like nods, I guess. Says, yeah. Roland, as you leave, she like gives you a warm hug as she tells you to remain safe in all of your endeavors, and she'll contact you.
Thank you. Where do y'all want to go next? You want to go try to find the Raven Temple?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hells, I guess. Hells, yeah.
Hells, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, multiple hells.
But also, is Nora like Roland's age? Was she?
No, well, she's a human, so she's older. Gotcha. But I don't know, Roland. How old are you?
I don't know if I've told the group how old I am, other than I'm still in my first century. Yeah. So it's quite possible she's older than me, but it's possible she might be the same age or younger too.
Yeah, but it's totally different, like elf versus human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair.
If you inquire, Roland will tell you about her. But I do tell the group about the fire and the thing. Can you give me the name of the book in chat?
Yes, absolutely. I'll put it in. Where do you want it? You want
either one?
Okay, I'll put it in Discord so that because the Roll20 chat, it keeps on moving. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might copy paste my notes too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. LaRue. LaRue.
Oh, I got one letter of that correct.
And did she say what the book had? Like, what was in the book? What was it about?
She did not know.
Okay.
It's a little, I guess, late, but do I know anything about LaRue?
Yeah. Make a history check. I also would need to... Yeah, okay. I can give you some information as soon as I find it.
Sure.
Okay. I should have been a religion check, but whatever. We'll go with history. So, you know of LaRue, is thought by many to be the daughter of Saloon, god of the moon. And LaRue the unicorn is a lesser deity with strong ties to Mieliki, god of the forest. So you recognize that. I'm gonna put this...
Is the unicorn and the daughter the same creature?
Yes. Yep.
And you said, how is she related to Mieliki?
Strong ties doesn't you don't know about how the strong ties to Mieliki, but that there are strong ties.
And are these from the human pantheon or from the elven pantheon?
This is from the human. I think.
No worries. Not like they have a strong divide anyways. And I will share that with the group as well.
Okay.
And the fire was a couple years ago? Before I went to Alaria, right? So just
before
a few
you
years?
went. Yep.
Or maybe even a year, or something like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's too far back. It's relatively, because you were practicing your magic, so you had your magic and you were working on it when this happened. So yeah, very close to before you went to Alaria.
I like to think that that Roland was a level 1 wizard for quite a long time, or level 0 wizard. There were quite
level
a few decades.
0.5 wizard.
Anyways,
cool. Good to know. Just wondering if they gave us a clue about it, but not seeing a connection yet. All right, let's go to the southeastern side and look for Raven iconography.
Cool. So, before we go into this, let's take another break. Alright, so what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna check out the southeastern side for Raven Queen Temple. Try looking around.
How do you go that way? Draw it on
it was
the map
in
for me.
town, right? Yeah. Okay.
We just
multiple points. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, we're just. Unfortunately,
Rogue Ward.
They said outside, though. I thought they said outside the city.
Oh, did they say outside?
They said outside, outskirts of town.
So, like, are we heading
like
down
outside
to like here?
Oh, over there? Yeah, I guess so.
Is it across? Did she mention which? Did she mention which side on the river she thought it would be on?
She did not. She just mentioned.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess.
There has to be a way to cross the river if there's all these houses here, like some kind of ferry or something.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I do have a way I can get us across the river. It's just not a great way.
What's the way? I'm
interested. That.
Well, you know what, DM, when we get there, I'll let you know.
Love it. All right. So, which way are you guys going?
I'm supposed to this side of the river for now.
Okay. Yeah, and how do you head there? Just straight through fields?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I guess I'll keep a lookout for any death bloomers.
What time is it?
or anything else on that list, I would say as well.
Good question.
It was like like noon when we met here. Like noon when we met here, and then we've done so many things since then.
Oh yeah, it was basically
it was 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I'd say it's like 4 o'clock, maybe 5, 4 to 5 ish.
What time does it get dark around here? Like what? What's the season equivalent? Right.
Around like 6 to 7. So you guys started in the fall, and it's been a little bit, but not too much. So yeah, like 7ish probably, 6 or 7.
Okay, so we have a bit of time to search and get back into the city before too much happens.
Yeah, you have like 1 or 2 hours.
And what time does the curfew start?
Dark.
Just
okay,
down.
so yeah.
And the curfew, as mostly like for the protection of you and the citizens. There's no like strict curfew where if you're out, the guards will like mandate you and put you in prison for breaking it or anything. It's just, a curfew for safety.
Oh, okay. Then we're fine. We're high level adventurers. We can't possibly die to, random gloomers. They just happen to attack us.
High level.
High level.
High.
Yeah.
Level 7.
Higher than you were before, though.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we go.
All right.
Over here and just.
You guys start making your way
downtown.
Walking past Faces pass and you're homebound.
Not even close, but okay.
What about wheat fields pass and you're
Raven
outbound.
Temple bound.
You're outbound.
Temple bound.
Yeah, temple bound.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys like walk through, and basically this whole area is basically either open space or filled with different types of wheat fields or any other type of like grain type of agriculture plot of lands. And so you kind of make your way past. You see like a couple farmers tending their fields here and there. So you know what? Faces do pass. As you go ahead and make your way, you notice that as soon as you come up towards these buildings, you notice that they look a little bit more shabbier than chic. You know, they're a little dilapidated here and there. It seems like the poorer parts of the Rogues' Ward seems to extend beyond towards here. You see people here are dressed minimally, and they don't have a lot of items as compared to some of the homes and buildings that you saw in the city, where they were decorated outside. They had like planters and stuff, you know, having some decoration and whatnot. You see is basically just buildings. More minimalistic and not money infused as some of the central parts of the city are. So you come across here, you see a lot of abodes, like for homes, and you don't see any signs that this is like where businesses are. You see a lot of homes. So what do you guys do as you reach the outskirts of this little puddle of houses?
Are people outside?
There are some people here and there, mostly children, just kind of like running through the streets. You don't see any strictly like in the city. You saw people like selling their wares and stuff through the street with carts and stuff. You don't really see that here. Maybe you might see like a woman here or there kind of like go outside of the house, do a little bit in the backyard, or like walk to some other house with a basket of sorts. There doesn't appear to be too much activity. Roland, actually, you would know this. So you know that this area is mostly homes for those who tend the fields, like the farmers. And so those who are here, typically, if they're able to, they're probably just working the fields that you guys passed. Save for like any children perhaps, and the children here, if they don't have enough money to go to the schools in the city, then they're left to their own devices, thus the children running through the streets.
Okay. I would just tell the rest of the group, I just keep an eye on your purses and your belongings. If it's anything like children I grew up with, it could be quite sneaky. And then I guess I'll ask the nearest kid. Hey kid.
Hey you! Nice
What
shiny
you know
stuff.
about...
What's all this?
Yeah?
Is it dangerous? And he just kind of goes towards to poke it. Your short sword.
Oh yeah, it's dangerous. Don't touch it.
Ow! Mommy! And he just starts running off.
Did he like hurt himself on it?
Yeah, he touched it.
Whoops.
There are lots of other kids though that are just kind of like milling around.
Cassandra, I am not an expert in a lot of children, but that did not seem like it was a great interaction with one.
Yeah, duly noted.
Did he touched her sword and hurt himself? Like, did she like do necrotic damage to him?
No. She no longer does necrotic damage. That was just in the Shadowfell. But also, he just touched the blade itself and like cut his finger.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She would have probably killed that child if she was still doing necrotic damage.
Making sure.
Okay. Make sure all my blades are nice and sheathed and hidden in my bag. Next kid.
Next kid. Next up. Yeah, so there's just like this little girl who's just been watching, who saw the kid like run away, and her eyes are just like looking at you.
I grab one of my rations packs, and I take out whatever's the yummiest looking thing, like dried fruit or something, and I'm just like, hey, you want a snack with me?
She shrugs her shoulders. Sure. Just kind of walks over to you nonchalantly, holds out her hand.
I give her some dried apricots.
She just starts chewing it, just looks at all of you guys.
Hey, we're new to town. Have you seen anything that looks like a black bird on any buildings or anything about ravens?
Well, there are a lot of birds around. If you're looking for blackbirds, well, we've been told to avoid it, but there's this building, and she just kind of points across the river towards like a more northeast direction. Says, there are birds there.
They're not all bad. I don't know why you've been told to avoid it. Is it dangerous?
I don't know. We don't go there though. It looks scary. We were told that it's not a place for us.
Interesting. How do you get across the river?
Oh, well, sometimes we swim it, but we get a little bit in trouble if we do that. There's this rope pulley thingy that we all use to cross.
Ooh, that sounds fun. You want to do that?
I don't want to do it. I'm not supposed to.
Okay.
I'm not supposed to cross. Okay. I don't think I'm supposed to talk to you either, but you look really pretty and nice.
I am nice, thank you.
She and goes to try. Yourself. She goes to try and reach up towards your hair. Why is it so hard?
Well, you know those ravens?
She nods her head.
They helped me out once, and part of their blessing was that I had this cool white hair.
Okay.
Yep. You know, magic's out there, and it's really cool.
Magic is scary.
Yes, child. That is the appropriate lesson. Magic is very scary. Please do not attempt to use it.
She just would burn down. She bites her lips and just nods.
And Tarvik's gonna start walking towards the river.
Yeah. I'll go look for the rope.
Before too long, before the child realizes, like, oh wait, hang on, why is that guy doing magic?
I'm going to lean down and say, oh, magic is scary, and I'm going to create a illusionary image of a glowing butterfly.
Ooh.
Using prestidigitation.
You can see
it fly off in front of her.
You can see her eyes kind of light up with interest as she has a smile that crosses her face. Wow, that's so pretty. How did you do that? She kind of whispers to you.
Magic.
Is that something I can do? I'm not supposed to, but that's so pretty.
Well, if you read a lot, that's how this guy learned.
Oh. You can see she gets a little crestfallen.
Or, if you're really good, then a god might look upon you and bless you with magic.
She just kind of nods her head with her eyes wide. I'll be good.
There you go. Thanks for your help today.
She just kind of waves without saying a word.
I high-five Roland.
High-five him too. I was trying to be so mysterious and walk off, and she's like, how'd you do that? And the answer is magic, and that sounded dumb.
Well, kids are they always want to know why and how and have lots of questions. It's their thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Unlike Tarvik over there. Who's halfway across the...
Yeah, I was going to say, Tarvik's already at the boat. Tarvik is far ahead and Tarvik was like, magic stupid, and walked off.
So you guys follow Tarvik and Rita?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you do see that towards this part here, there appears to be a line of rope and a single boat that is on one side. Actually, there's two boats, sorry. One single boat on this side and another single boat on this side. And you see that the rope appears to be somewhat tied to each of the boats, though currently they aren't tied to the main slack line in the middle. But you gather that you would like attach the rope onto the main line as like a guide as you row across. Maybe I can draw.
So is it like you pull the far boat towards you and then take it over? So there's always like a boat on each side?
Yeah, there's always a boat, yes, and so you would be able to pull it.
Okay.
So like if someone were to cross, like you wouldn't be stranded because they didn't return the boat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two boats here, one on each side, just in case.
How, like, what's the distance? Is this map set up for distance?
An
That's
approximation,
like 200 feet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think my plan would have worked then. I don't think. Because I think it's a little bit too wide of a river.
400 feet-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit too wide, I think, for
Actually, no, it wouldn't be on the corner. It's more like this. Brown.
Yeah, so like that's...
It's more like this. That's second.
Nice. Got a good perpendicular point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still like 200 feet. If it was closer to 100, I have a way, but...
You know, we could just use the boat, Tarvik.
Oh no, yeah, the Tarvik looks at it for a while and is like, yes, I feel the boat is the best option. And we'll start pulling over the boat.
Let's do rowboats.
All right.
Here.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make them smaller though, actually, because that's really large in comparison. We'll do that.
Yachts.
Yeah. Alright, so you guys start pulling on the rope and make your way across, and you're on the other side.
Yay. Alright,
I
guess we're going northeast, so pop up this way. I'm just gonna go straight that way and see.
Did she point to a specific building?
No, she pointed in the direction of this here.
Okay, so yeah, we'll go up that way then. Like that.
And as you continue to pass by, you see like there are a couple more kids who are just kind of like running the street or milling around, playing little rock games on the streets. And then you see like a few women here and there. Same deal. The buildings over here look just the same.
I'm gonna look for
Oops.
ravens. Oops.
Made those tokens real not good. Alright, as you near this area, you notice that there's a clear divide between the boundary of these homes and this building over here. Though it is beginning to become dusk, this building oddly restricts the sunset light, as it appears to be a cloud of darkness all of a sudden as you approach. There is a medium-sized building of a very dark stone, I guess is the material, that seems to just like soak in the light unnaturally. You see that there is a small, what appears to be a graveyard or grave site alongside here, where there seems to be headstones, many. And you hear almost nothing. It is eerily quiet as you approach. The sounds of the children in the street seem to die down, and the simple discussions between some of the women that have been in that little plot of home seems to have also died down. You hear just your own breath as you approach. Actually, I'm going to change the music because this is city music. It doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Let's do... try this. So, as you guys approach, just hearing your own breath and kind of nothing else, you go up closer and you notice that perched on either side of the very short steps that lead up to the front of this building, there appears to be 2 ravens. One to the left, one to the right, just looking at you. 4.
I'll talk to the ravens, because now we know that they could be people.
What do you say?
You're looking very black and beautiful today.
And then all of a sudden you hear the flappings of the wings as they just disperse and go into either direction, left and right. They leave you alone.
Okay. They don't like compliments. Maybe I should be mean and intimidating.
I think that you were nice.
Okay. Is there a door? Go.
There is a door. There's a single. It's rounded at the top, and it almost looks like there's no handle to the door.
Okay. I will knock on the door. You
knock. Dun dun dun. I can't do it because I have my dog. So you knock on the door, and it make a perception check.
Okay.
As you knock, it almost sounds like it's echoing, and it seems like there's an open space beyond it. You hear nothing for a few beats, and then you hear the door open, and you see a small little gap, and it is black beyond, and you see a figure hooded in all black just kind of glide into view ever so slightly through the crack, and you see a very pale face and long dark strands of black hair, almost like the Ring Girl, if you will. And you see her just kind of all pale look and say, "Hello."
Hi, I'm Cassandra. I had some visions of the Raven Queen and thought maybe you could help us decipher them.
She opens the door a little bit more, and she outstretches her hand. Palm up.
For me to take it? Oh, okay. I will take her hand.
Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Yep.
You see Cassandra immediately collapse onto the floor. All of you. What do you do?
Oh, great.
I'm going to rush forward and say, "What did you do to her?"
You see she's just looking at all of you without saying a word. Cassandra, at this moment in time, your vision goes completely black. And you don't even know that you fell on the ground. What you do realize is all of a sudden it went from this pale face to nothing, and then all of a sudden this icy cold hot feeling that has come relatively familiar to you with your previous interactions with the Raven Queen. You seem to be in a very dark and cold pond of some type of liquid. As you are standing in the middle of it, the whatever water-like substance is coming up to your chest, just your shoulder, neck, and head are above, as you are in this ever expanding pool of liquid. And all of a sudden you feel a sense of a tingling starting from the base of your spine all the way up to your mind, and then it's just hot all of a sudden. It went from an icy cold and then like a little bit of hot flashes to immediately like burning sensation, like you were just so hot, and then all of a sudden you're in a desert in the blink of an eye. There is nothing around you. Just surrounding you is like the desert sand, which is a very new sight for you, I believe, based on your own experiences, right? Like you would have never come across this, so you have no idea like what this is, but it is like blistering hot. There's sand like whipping around you. There's a strong wind, and then again, in a blink of a second, you are back in this like pool, this liquid like pool, and then from the back of you, you hear a voice. Cassandra.
I'm sorry I went to the Shadowfell. I think you didn't like that. I was hoping to find answers, but we didn't find much of anything.
Welcome. And then you blink open your eyes, and you're on the ground, and you have Roland looking at you, concerned, like by you, and Rita and Tarvik are also by you.
Oh, did I fall down?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Is the figure still there?
Mm-hmm. She's just looking at you guys.
I saw sand, lots of sand, like a beach, but no water. And the word welcome. What's your name?
You address it to the person.
Yeah.
She says no words, and she opens up the door a little bit more so that you guys can pass through. She just outstretches her hand, and you see that there, even though the building is quite like a medium-sized building, there is nothing in it from where you can tell like this level, but you see that it goes underground, like immediately goes underground and descends into darkness. And she just outstretches her hand and points towards the staircase below.
Okay. Is light allowed in here? Or gonna light up my lantern? Very slowly, in case she gets subsided. And then so I can see. And then I tell the rest of the group, just stay close to me. Make sure I don't fall again.
We're right here.
Okay. And I just slowly walk down the stairs.
As you do, who's behind Cassandra?
Probably behind her.
Okay. The figure interposes herself between you and Cassandra at the base of the stairs before it goes down, without a word, and just looks towards you directly in your face. Says nothing.
Towards Cassandra or Roland?
To Roland. Interposing herself between Cassandra and Roland.
Okay.
So like at the top of the stairs, but inside the building?
Yes.
Am I not welcome here?
She just continues to look at you.
Okay. We'll have a safe word. If I yell avocado, you come running down.
Okay. I also think there should be a time limit.
Okay.
20 minutes? 15 minutes?
Yeah. I don't know. 1 hour.
Okay.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much. I can't do much after probably about a minute or so. So, just for your own sake.
I'll yell avocado. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. Raven Queen's got my back. And I'm gonna walk down the stairs.
All right. Cassandra, you continue to go down. As Cassandra takes the steps forward, you see that figure that's cloaked in all black with the stringy hair motions off to the side, and you now see that there are 3 chairs that have appeared. And she just motions her hands toward them, not saying a word.
That's hospitable, I suppose. I'll take a chair.
Great.
I'll
think Rita
take a chair as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Rita literally takes a chair. Rita now has a chair in her inventory.
She has a chair, yeah. She's just carrying it. All right.
Don't worry about that, Rita.
So the 3 of you sit down, and she just moves herself to the side where the chairs are, and she just stands there looking at all of you without saying a word. Cassandra, you descend these stairs, and you see Cassandra's light getting dimmer and fainter as each step she takes echoes within the chamber. Clip clop, clip clop. You go down these stone stairs into the darkness. The light of your lantern, the only thing giving you the ability to see, though there is not much to see, as it appears these are just stone walls. However, you get to the bottom of the staircase, and you notice that there appears to be a small hallway that leads forward, and there is a single door at the end.
I'll go try to open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there appears to be an antechamber of some sorts with just a very large pool of water in the middle. It basically takes up like the entire space of the room.
I guess that's familiar. I will take off my backpack and set it down, and I will wade into the water or jump in.
Okay, you jump into the water. It is cold to the touch.
I guess I will just kind of lay back and try and float in it.
Okay, you lay back and you float. You're able to float. The silence is ever present in this room as well. Hearing your own breath, your own heartbeat.
Kind of reminds me of those like sensory deprivation.
Yeah, it's like that for sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I will float, and I will think on the visions that the Raven Queen has given me, and the eye, and if is it related to this desert, or
you continue to float and think.
Yeah.
And you continue to float and think.
Okay. Raven Queen, can you hear me?
No response. Silence.
I get mad and I splash the bottom.
You splash. You hear the little splish splash that you make, you little duckling, and nothing happens.
Gods are so mysterious. Is there anyone else in the room? Did I just start doing this stuff weirdly while someone was watching?
Nope. You make a perception check for me. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else in here with you.
Okay. All right. I will. What can I do? Blind. Eye deaf.
As Cassandra's thinking, what are Roland and Tarvik doing, and Rita?
Roland's probably just trying to be patient, waiting.
Mm-hmm. What's Tarvik doing? I feel like Rita would just start singing or something.
I guess I'd maybe look around the chamber. If is there anything here?
Make a perception check for me.
Perception. Is the girl still here with us, or did she leave?
No, she's just standing there, looking at you guys. So you see the girl just standing off to the side, looking at you, saying no words, making no movements. And then for the rest of the chamber, it is a fairly open space. You see, other than the staircase that kind of descends below, everything is very dark. There are no lanterns or light here. You can only see this because of your dark vision. Other than that, it appears that this is just the inside of the building. There's like no markings, no super crazy engravings or anything, just like the stonework. And other than these 3 chairs that you don't know were here before or after, you don't see anything.
It's weird there's only 3. Is it clearly a church? Like, hollowed out church? Or was it like...
No, it doesn't...
some kind of open space?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a church in the fact that there are no pews, there are no altars, there are no stained glass, like, not your traditional church. It basically just looks like a concrete mausoleum, almost. Except there is no, whatever you call it, not a casket, but there's no, like, stone thing that holds the body. It's basically just like a concrete holding. Anything Tarvik is doing, thinking?
I would say I'll briefly talk to Rita for a little bit, and we can just fade in on the end of this conversation as Tarvik just says, "Yes, and I believe that is how I would cross the river if the boats were not there."
Love it.
Cassandra. Talk. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah. Go back to Cassandra. No, go to Cassandra.
Okay, all right. Cassandra, what do you do?
I guess I will submerge myself completely in the water and sink to the bottom.
Okay.
As much as I can. And I'll think about the eye, and I'll think about the kindness and how they're seeking the hand, and how we're lost and we can't find the eye, and just pray for the Raven Queen to give us guidance. Where do we go? What do we need?
Describe in more detail, not your thoughts, but your physicality as you go down.
I'm gonna, like, bundle myself up into, like, a little ball as much as possible so I sink fast. And I'm gonna, close my eyes and, like, I'm gonna have to, like, force myself to sink more, so I'm gonna be, like, waving my arms to push myself further down to whatever the bottom of this pool is until I hit the very, very bottom, and then I'm just gonna clasp my hands together and just eyes closed, feet, like, crisscross applesauce on the bottom.
Have you let out your breath?
I'm holding it currently.
Okay. And do you have your eyes open or closed?
Closed.
Do you have your hands outstretched at all?
I have them in front of me, like prayer.
Swimming? Okay.
Yeah.
You continue moving forward, and you feel like a sandy bottom after diving like 30 feet, 20 feet roughly.
Wow. Okay.
You feel a sandy bottom. That's it.
Okay. I'll try to, dig my feet into the bottom to anchor myself and try and look around.
You try and dig your feet in, but you're not able to anchor yourself because the sand continues forward.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'll try and look around and see if there's anything down here.
You open up your eyes. Make a perception check for me.
No.
I'll say with disadvantage because it's dark and you're in the water.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Doesn't matter. You take a look around and the sand looks familiar to you.
Like what I just saw?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So thinking about that, sand looks familiar. I'll try to move forward, like walk across the sand almost, pushing myself forward with the sand and look for like the edge of the pool.
All right, you move across, and you try and find the edge of the pool, and you find it. It appears to be like a circular stone wall that is housing all this water. You found the wall.
Interesting. All right. I'll go back to the center. I guess I'll have to take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to go back up to the top, take a breath, and then dive into the center and see if I can like dig in the sand in the center.
Okay, you start digging, and you continue digging. There appears to be like no stone floor beneath. You've gone like your entire forearms have like dug in, and there still appears to be sand beneath.
Okay. All right. So I will.
Do you choose to continue digging?
No, I'll stop digging.
All right.
And I'll settle down, and under the water, I will think about.
Oh, by the way, sorry. Huge point. Sorry. As you were digging, you felt warmth from the sand.
Oh. Maybe I will keep digging then. All right. Yeah, I'll keep digging a little deeper, and see if I can kind of like sit in the sand a bit.
Yeah. You dig and continue digging. There is like a body-sized hole that you can sit in.
Great. I'll sit in it, let myself settle into the warmth of the sand. And look up, and I'm gonna try and taste the water a little bit.
Oh, okay. Nice. You like open up your mouth a little bit to try and taste, and it tastes salty.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And then I will grab the feather that the Raven Queen gave me and hold it in one hand. And in the other hand, I'll just hold it like outstretched, like I don't know how to phrase it, but like you're waiting for someone to give you something.
Like palms outstretched, open hands.
Yeah.
All right.
And just pleading with the Raven Queen in my mind, like, just give me some direction or person to see or place to go. I really want to do this for you. I really want to pay my debt to you. And my friends do too. And we really want to protect this eye. But we're lost.
Okay. We will circle back to Roland and Tarvik. Roland, did you say you wanted to do something? Oh, sorry. Before we do that, there is no response, Cassandra. Okay. So, Roland, you said you wanted to do something?
Well, I want to try to talk to the girl. I'm gonna stand up and kind of walk to her and say, "My name is Roland. Well met."
She just nods.
May I ask your name?
She shakes her head very slowly.
Is my friend in danger?
She just smiles. You can make an insight check if you want.
Okay. Insight. Yeah, it's not good.
It's a little creepy of a smile. Especially with her not saying anything.
You're real creepy, you know.
She holds her smile.
I'm gonna say, do you like bubbles?
Her smile eventually fades, but she gives no physical response or indication.
I'm just gonna keep asking her questions. I think probably to the point of being a little annoying, but as long as she smiles sometimes.
She basically gives you you can give me specific questions if you want, but I'm assuming some of the questions that you're gonna ask, she gives you no response whatsoever, by verbal response nor physical response.
I ask her if she lives here, and I ask her if she's an acolyte of the Raven Queen, and I ask her if people come here often, and who's buried in the cemetery, and I ask her, are you a were-raven? And
all no responses.
I know. Eventually I'll go sit back down towards Tarvik and be like, you think of her? Tarvik can hear me.
Help? Yep, I can. I don't know. At this point, the damage. We don't hear her actively screaming. So I'm going to assume everything is fine for the time being. It certainly seems like a person who's not actively bothering us right now, so I'm just gonna sit in this chair until then.
Think she's dead?
If she is not dead, she's definitely not human. If that makes sense.
Can I cast, or I should ask Tarvik, is there a spell you have that can detect things?
Detect
I should have.
things.
I should have cast protection from good and evil on Cassandra before she went down. If something's dead or evil.
I can detect if something is magical, or if something is poisoned, or I can make things very quiet. I don't have anything to sense undead or creatures unless we're looking for something specific.
Try at anybody.
Wait, what was that?
Do you want to scry at anybody while we're waiting?
I thought we already did that today.
Oh, was that today? Yeah, that was earlier today, wasn't that? Never mind.
It's been a very long day. I get it.
It has been a very long day. It's like 4 weeks long or something.
Yeah, and it almost feels like we took several gap weeks in there and as well, so it makes it feel like it's been 2 months. But yeah.
I'm playing Rita. I would have asked Rita to make an insight check because Pick is talking to her in her head, and it's a little bit different than normal. It's a bit more subdued. Oh shit! Wow, this is good for Rita. So Pick has a very different approach in how he's conversing with Rita. It's more respectful and subdued, like I mentioned before. And sometimes when Pick pipes up, Rita noticed that the woman in black would look over to Rita ever so slightly.
Oh.
And Rita picks up on the woman looking over, and also picks change in demeanor. He's not his usual jokey, kind of crude, very vocal self. He's still talking, but like I said, more subdued. So Rita picks up on that. Cassandra. No response. What do you do?
I'm gonna try yes or no questions and see. Raven Queen, maybe you can't talk to me, so if it's the right thing, maybe make the sand feel cold, and if it's the wrong thing, just leave the sand feel warm. So, is the Undying King returned? Has he returned?
No change.
Okay. Are we close to the eye?
No change.
Let me think. Are the gloomers connected to the eye?
No change.
I swim back up to the top and grab my short sword and I slice the water. Help! I just grab my bag and storm up the stairs.
Okay. Eventually you guys hear like wet sloshing sounds of footsteps come up the stairs. Maybe a little bit more pressure than when the steps first descended, as they seem to gather up some momentum as Cassandra just stomps up, soaking wet. And she kind of approaches you guys. You can hear, or not, sorry, you can hear. You can kind of smell a little bit of saltiness on her, just ever faintly.
Well, I had a nice bath and some time to think. And I think we're going the wrong way. But I don't know what the right way is.
You had a bath with your clothes on.
Well, you don't want to get naked.
In a bath?
Why did you not? What was your initial reaction not to get naked when taking a bath?
Okay, it wasn't a literal bath. So, in my visions,
Your
I'm
your
often...
leather armor is very wet now. It's going to take like several days to dry out.
No,
I get
I'll
my
cast
studded leather
prestidigitation.
soon.
It'll be fine. Tell us about your vision, and I'll start prestidigitation her dry.
Okay, it's gonna take a long time.
Since you're smart, y'all are smarter than me, and you know about gods, Tarvik. So you've hung out with a god, right? You hung out with the Storm Lord.
Looks around briefly, like very confused, and then eventually it's just like, no, I have not
I thought that's what
hung
clerics
around.
did.
No, it's complicated.
Okay. I think I understand complicated. Alright, so visions I've had visions where the eye got really close and then it got really far away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I let it go. I had visions, like, of a desert, and I think it's a desert. It's sand everywhere. And then in a lot of my visions, I'm submerged in water. And that's when I hear the Raven Queen's voice. And down there is a pool of water that's just like my visions, but I never heard her voice. And
It's
I've had
my vision of the eye was in a city, so I can't help you there.
I asked about the eye, if it was connected to the gloomers, or if we were close, and I think the response was no. But I don't know.
You see, as you guys are talking, the woman clad in the black robes walks towards the staircases, pointedly looks at Cassandra, and motions her hand down.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you my bag. Roll in my bag.
Okay. 1 second before you go, and I'm just going to cast protection from good and evil on her.
Thanks for throwing the chat.
Okay.
Do you have holy water? Oh yeah, you do have holy water, don't you?
Yeah, I think I do actually. Yeah, I did not realize it would do that.
Oh, it consumes it.
Yeah.
Holy water. Okay, I think I do have some holy water though.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still gonna do it though.
All right.
All right. Mark off that holy water.
It is marked off.
Thanks, Roland. I don't think I'll need it, but it's nice. I appreciate it. Maybe
I think she's not alive.
She would either be alive or she would be dead. I don't think the Raven Queen does in-betweens.
I think if anyone does in-betweens, it's the people that have to walk that path.
Maybe. Alright, well, you guys stay here. Remember avocado. I'll be back.
Are we resetting the counter now? Is it like an hour from now or an hour from an original hour?
I'm sorry, reset the counter. Hope you have some books.
It's fine. It's fine. Take your time. No worries.
I'm new to this whole gods thing. Alright. Lead the way.
You'll do good. You'll do fine. Have fun.
Does the girl go down or just points down?
Nope, she just has her hand outstretched downward as she did before.
Okay. Like she wants me to touch it again, or?
No, like she has her hand like pointed down towards the staircase.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll go back down the stairs.
Okay. Splish, splosh, splish, splosh. You hear Cassandra's footsteps recede until you can't hear them anymore. And Cassandra, you eventually get down to the base and go into this little hallway again, that same door in front of you.
I go through the door, and I look around again to see if there's anyone here.
Make a perception check. Outside of the door, right before the room?
Yeah.
In the hallway, yeah. Okay. You take a look around. It appears just the stone that is outlining this building and this hallway. Nothing more.
Okay. I go through the door.
Again,
I close the door.
Same pool.
Alright. And I take Tarvik's advice and strip naked. Put all my clothes against the door so it's harder to open the door, I guess. And just diving in the water.
Alright. The cool water hitting your skin again. What do you do?
I'm going to swim around for a little bit, I think, and then dive all the way back down to the bottom and I don't know. Maybe something to do with that in between. So I'm gonna try and wait until I run out of breath.
Okay. You are where in the pool of water?
Like towards at the bottom with like at least my feet in the sand in my little sand hole that I made.
Alright, so you dig you dig your feet in the little sand hole that you have, the warmth reaching your toes as the cold water circulates around you, and you let go of your breath, and the water is entering in your lungs, and you are drowning right now.
And I'm gonna say, now would be a great time for a vision before I die.
Make a death saving throw for me, please, as you continue to lose. Okay, say. Do you choose to do anything?
I hold on to the feather really strongly, and I'll cast Divine Sense. See if I sense any strong evil or strong good or celestial fiend, undead, anything like that.
You do not sense anything around you.
Okay.
Make another death saving throw for me, please.
Okay.
Okay, succeed. Anything else as you continue to drown?
don't know. I'll just swim back up. Let myself float back up, I guess.
Alright. We cut back to Roland and Tarvik. And Rita, of course. You guys doing anything? Or cut back to Cassandra?
You can say Cassandra. If I go ahead, Tarvik.
I was going to say, really hope that Cassandra doesn't think drowning herself is the answer. I don't feel like that's it.
No, she wouldn't do anything foolish like that or anything.
No.
Yeah, it's not like she's gonna cut herself or or try to kill herself to reach the other side. That would just be she wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't put herself in danger.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we come back to Cassandra.
I'll just swim to the top with my head poking out the water and take a big deep breath.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe throw up some salt water, probably.
Yeah, which is a very nice reprieve from the water that was in your lungs and about to snuff your life out of you.
Mm-hmm. I'll lay back with my float in the water and just think. Think about all the stuff that she's done for me, like the Book of the Dead, or the Raven Queen's book that she gave me, and the Book of the Raven, that's what I mean, and the map of mystery, and how we were supposed to find a treasure, but we didn't really find a treasure, and how we keep fucking up. It seems like going into the Shadowfell, and she didn't like that. Maybe we were supposed to find the Vistani. We couldn't find them. Found the kindness instead, who seemed cool. We find no sign of the eye. Maybe she shouldn't have put her trust in me. I just feel insecure. And then just yell out, "What do I do next?"
You hear it echo in this room. Cassandra, as we continue, you shout this out, hearing the echo. Nothing, no change, no response from the Raven Queen.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Ilaria's journal real quick. He tried to seek out the temple too.
Do you have your belongings?
Oh, that's right. No, they're up with Roland. Grab a shirt and run up.
You hear running footsteps, wet again, you guys, as Cassandra runs up.
Look at Ilaria's journal.
Did you think of something?
Well, Ilaria was here. Maybe she had something. Like a clue.
Is she naked right now?
No, have a shirt?
She said she grabbed a shirt.
Oh, sorry. Everybody. Okay, cool. Sorry, just curious. I'll help her. I'll pull out Ilaria's journal.
Alright, I'll look through it. Sworn enemies. She will provide aid when it's meant to be and continue the path as I saw fit. Walk to the ledge. We'll run back downstairs. Take off the shirt. And jump in the water and try the strategy of the yes and no questions again. So grabbing my feather, sinking to the bottom, and thinking of yes and no questions. So if yes, I want to feel coldness. If no, keep feeling the warmness that's in the sand. Okay, so. Is the Pact of Lich close to the eye?
No change.
Alright, and can we get to the eye with what we have now?
No change.
Interesting. Is there someone in Duras that could help us get to the eye?
No change.
Huh. Do we need to go to another city?
No change.
Really? Is this even working?
No change.
Love it. Okay, so that definitely means it's either not working or it's not working. So
Cassandra.
yes.
I see that you have a DM inspiration point. I will say you can trade that in for
Hell yes.
a hint.
A hint? Yes, done.
Okay. Roll a religion check for me, or an insight check. It is your choice. That will determine
Slightly
how
better
helpful
insight. Okay.
this will be. Okay, so you get one of two things that I could have told you. Roll a d20 to see which one I give you. Okay. You kind of start thinking a little bit and look deep into your soul, breaking the fourth wall. And you realize that your entrance to this place, when the Raven Queen gave you those images and then said, welcome, meant that she is open to receiving you should you follow the correct way to reach her. And as a divine entity, as all divine entities are, she is elusive and not straightforward in that process. And so it is up to you to determine whether or not you can communicate with her or not. It's a test of sorts.
Interesting.
Like a barrier specifically placed.
I'm gonna look around for a way to drain the water.
Interesting. Make an investigation check. Do you still have your lantern down here?
Yeah.
Okay. Draining the water seems very hard because there are no objects in this place other than your wet clothes, the lantern. Everything else, there's just stone wall.
Okay. And then the vision that I had when I got in, I just saw sand everywhere. Like I just saw like a desert.
You felt that you were in a body of water, hot sand, and then a body of water again.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna jump in the water. I'm gonna go all the way down the sand, and I'm gonna cover myself completely with the sand.
As you do, the warmth encapsulates your body, a very nice change from the cold water, reminding you of your dream.
Okay.
Or vision,
and
whatever it was.
Then I'll go back out into the water.
Okay. You go back out.
Raven Queen?
No response.
Okay. I'll run up to Roland. With the shirt.
Good detail.
Roland!
Yes.
Alright. So my vision had something to do with I was in water, and then I saw a desert with no water, and then I was in water again. And the desert was warm, and the sand at the bottom of that is warm. But there's water everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I need to recreate the vision.
So you're in water. Can you bring any of the sand up out of the water?
Maybe. We have any
maybe
buckets or anything?
Like take a good look at it, kind of a thing. I mean, like an extra bit of cloth or something that she could scoop it with. I don't know. This is just a guess, kind of a thing.
Okay. Harvick, did you have any ideas?
On mute. Sorry. No, I have no idea. This is a strange thing.
I have some.
I am literally a worshiper of sorts of a god of water, and I have no idea what to do.
Okay. Good. So I don't feel so dumb anymore. Thank you, Darvik. I appreciate it.
I'll hand her a vial, I'll hand you 2 vials just to see if that helps at all, but...
Does the timer restart now, or...
Yes!
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Alright, I run down, and I dive to the bottom and get a vial of sand.
Nice. Alright, you got a vial of sand.
I bring it up out of the water and go back to the hallway where there's no water.
As you're holding it, you feel the tube grow warm from being with the sand.
Oh, that's nice. And I put the sand in the hallway. And I make my own little desert by pouring the sand at the bottom of the hallway and standing in it.
It takes you a little bit of time to do so. How much are you piling on? Because I'm assuming the vials that you have are fairly small.
Yeah, just enough that I can have my feet on sand.
Okay, all right, just enough. Yeah, that won't take too much time. So you do so, and you have the sand, and you're standing on top of it?
Yeah.
Okay, you are standing on top of some warm sand. It feels very nice, though you were dripping wet.
Does it feel like the vision?
It does not feel like the vision.
I'm gonna go talk to Ring Girl.
Okay. You go up, and she just looks at you.
Alright. So, I had the vision, the water, and I'm submerged. And I did that a lot. But then I had a vision where I was on a desert. Do you have a room with a desert in it?
She just looks at you. No physical response.
And then take that as a no. And then I was in the water again. So, how do you talk to the Raven Queen? You're not very talkative. But...
She continues to just look at you.
Okay. Water and then sand. Water. Is the water cold down there?
The water is cold down there. Yeah.
Okay, so that matches.
I don't mean to interject if you're still thinking things through.
Yeah, I'm up there with you guys.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to Ringu, but
how big is the pool of water?
It's about roughly like 20 or 30 feet wide. Maybe closer to 20 feet.
Is there anything buried in the sand?
I dug pretty far. I didn't find anything.
How deep was the water?
About 20 feet.
Well, this won't help, but I do have Dust of Dryness. The water's a little too big for it, though.
Okay.
It would make it easier for searching, though, if you could drain some of the water, I guess. Are you supposed to drain some of the water? I look over at the old lady.
And she's not old. She's more or less youthful looking. She just looks
creepy,
pale and terrible. Yeah, creepy. No physical response. She just continues to observe you guys.
You just want a way to communicate with her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel in my bones that I'm supposed to recreate that vision of the water and then the desert and then water.
And she's moving you through those spaces. If I'm not sure recreating it is exactly the right thing to do. But have you tried drinking any of the water? Sometimes if you drink certain substances, it'll give you visions and stuff.
Yeah, I held my breath a really long time, and then I drowned a little, and then I drank some, and it tasted like salt water.
I look over at Roland at that.
I make eye contact with Tarvik.
I specifically wanted to mention. Yeah, just regular old salt water. Hey, and the vision,
make an offering to the water? Here, I'm gonna give her a gold coin and say, maybe try making a wish. I don't know.
Maybe. I'll try. I'll run downstairs, throw the gold coin, and wish for a vision for the eye.
Sure. Blink. Falls into the water, you make a wish. No change that you can notice.
Okay. Alright. I will go bury myself in the sand some more and say welcome.
Describe to me how you bury yourself in the sand.
Gonna try and
full body?
What do you do? Full body.
Do you lay down in it, or horizontally, or you try and sit in your hole and then just pull the sand?
Yeah, I want to be fully covered. Yeah, so I'll try and lay down on the bottom and just push it over me. So it's horizontal.
Okay, so you lay down horizontally, you push it over. So you're laying in the sand. And it's nice and warm as it was before. And
what if? Okay, sorry.
It's becoming hard to continue to be in this position. You're
okay. I'm thinking beginning's water and end is water. So what if my head is in the water and my body is in the sand and then my feet are sticking out in the water?
So you make a U with your body?
Yeah.
Alright, you take a breath and then try and make a U. Yeah. No change apparently.
Okay. I'm going to
remember that when you dug, there didn't feel like there was a stone bottom. It was just sand.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep digging. See if there's anything in there, like Tarvik said.
You continue digging in your hole, yes?
Yeah.
When do you decide to stop as it continues forward? There appears to be lots of sand.
Oh, I have an idea. I'm going to move all the sand to one side. So I'm going to make one side of the pool, like so much sand on one side of the pool that
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
You try and like move the sand over, and it's gonna take you a little bit of time because you're gonna have to go up for air.
Mm-hmm.
But you make a continue
like
down
a little island.
Yeah. And it continues, and it continues. You're getting a little tired.
I power through.
All right, you power through it. You're still, swimming and like gathering. I'm assuming you're using like your forearms or something to like scrape over the sand, and you continue. It keeps going.
Wow.
Like you are well. So originally it was 20 feet. You're well within 40 now. You keep digging. 50. Do you keep digging?
Yeah.
You keep digging, expending your energy. You're like 60, 70 feet now. And you just see this like slant of sand along that's just like meeting, that's like creating like a triangle against the wall. You continue downward and you continue digging, and you're now 80. Take some time. You're now 90. You are tired. I'll say you have a point of exhaustion. As you continue digging down, appears to be no change, and it seems like it goes on forever.
Okay. All right. I will try and push all the sand up.
I will say, time-wise, Roland and Tarvik, it's probably been like... if we did like between 4 and 5, we'll say, split it in the middle, you're probably nearing like 6 o'clock now.
Have we at any point gone over like the hour? Wait.
Between the multiple visits up and down,
right. Like the last
restarting
visit,
each time.
The last visit, it's probably nearing like 40 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep sitting in the chair. I feel like we will make it back to town fine. We'll make it work.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure out what happens at night.
All right. So if I push all the sand to one side, can I make it go up above the water level?
Sure. You try and like stack the sand to reach up above, and it like peeks out like a little iceberg.
All right. I have a desert. I'm gonna jump onto my desert.
Okay. You jump on. No change.
Raven Queen?
No answer.
Jump back in the water. I'll go tell the group with the shirt what's going on. So the sand, it just never stops. I can just keep going and going and going. And I tried making a little island, and I stood on the island, and that didn't help.
Sorry. There's just infinite sand.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything else in your vision of the desert? Was there anything in the sand, or?
I think it was just infinite sand, like you said.
I feel like trying to recreate your vision maybe isn't the right path exactly.
Yeah.
If you hadn't had the vision, how would you commune with your goddess.
I tried that. Yeah, I tried just like holding these feathers she gave me and thinking really hard and about her and about the vision she's already given me and what I want to know. And usually it doesn't work, but every once in a while I would get a little vision.
Did you try just being patient and just waiting?
Whoa.
No, not like doing things, just like doing
Me?
nothing. Yes. In the water. Did you just like float around and do nothing for like,
You want
I
me
don't
to
know, like
just do nothing?
mm,
Oh,
you've done everything else.
yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
I could
assume
try.
you've described her sand thing. Maybe me go sit on your sand mountain and
Yeah.
kind of lay down on it, fall
Okay.
asleep.
But then the hour thing won't happen. And then what if, the sun goes down and then we don't get to do the gloomers?
I mean, the gloomers come out all night, right? Gloomers
Right.
are just starting right now. I would assume that the city that is struggling to keep the gloomers away will uh, still have the same gloomer problem at 7 and at 8 and probably at 9 as well.
Okay. Well, it seems pretty safe here. If you guys want to wait, we can wait here. Or if you want to go to Roland's, you can go there. I
Well,
guess we'll just go down.
I think
Good.
we'll wait here till you're done.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are we still doing the hour thing, or are we letting you wait as long as you feel comfortable waiting?
Well, I think at minimum I want to spend an hour just doing nothing. Just do like a short rest down there. And then...
Yeah, you can for sure do a short rest.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To speed things along, that hour passes by, nothing happens.
Okay.
But you have a short rest. All of you would have a short rest at this point because you're just chilling.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually used anything, but yay.
Yeah.
I'll get us a slot back.
Nice. So it's
right.
roughly 7. It's dark or almost dark. Though you can't tell because inside there are no windows. Cassandra, how about we let you sit and think on this and end tonight's session for now?